welcome back. We're on day 6 of the training camp. I was just about to go to bed and day 6 just come up, so let's give it a go. The good and not so good from day 6 to the 49 training camp. Fred Warner and Brandon Ayuk have a fight. So, first fight of the camp. Right, okay, so let's read it. This is by Grant Cohen, who sees it all and he does everything, and I'm looking at my tablet. So let's have a read. Santa Clara. Here's who stood out on day 6 of the 49ers training camp. Keep in mind, the 49ers practiced for nearly 2 hours. It was extremely hot and 2 fights broke out. So today, I'm starting with the not so good, because it would be a shame to bury the leech. 2 fights against, it seems like, Warner and Ayuk. So the not so good. Fred Warner and Brandon Ayuk. Right, this is the not so good. Unbelievable. So, but not so good. Fred Warner and Brandon Ayuk. Right, so they fought twice and tried to punch each other in the face while wearing helmets, which is never smart. This fight had been brewing since camp beginning last week. Apparently, Warner talks trash on the field during practice, and the defensive end finds him annoying. Ayuk said so during his press conference last week. Today, Warner appeared to hit Ayuk after the whistle, and Ayuk took expectation. So they wrestled each other to the ground and got separated. A few minutes later, Warner intentionally knocked over backup wide receiver Marcus Johnson after Johnson caught a pass while running a cross route. It looked like he ran into a brick wall. I immediately sprang into the field, and he and Warner squared off like they were in a karate tournament. Then teammates joined the fight, and Carl Jenner had to break it up and stop practice and yell at the players, but he didn't kick anyone out. Then practice has resumed, and Ayuk played extremely well again as he left the first string offense in catches. Wow. Fred Warner and Ayuk fighting twice. That's not good at all. Number 2, not so good. Quarterback Jimmy G decided to throw it on a side field during practice while fans and national reporters were watching. It seemed like he was trying to steal the show and make the news about him and how great his arm looks. But honestly, he didn't look great. He looked weaker than normal. Perhaps he's still building arm strength, or maybe the shoulder injury will have permitted these effects. We'll find out. During the season, he had a long conversation with Steve Morrell, who worked at the NFL Network, and then Mike Shanahan, who was in town to watch his son coach, and then Ian Rappaport. Garoppolo looked like he was networking for his next opportunity in NFL, whether that might be do go home. Well, things a bit bad, okay. Guard, Aaron Banks. He's a big man, but he has no anchor. Alex Barrett got under his pads and drove him back into the quarterback's lap 3 times during one-on-ones, pass rushes and drills. Barrett is a 250-pound defensive end who's playing defensively tackle, but because other players are injured. Banks better excel as a run blocker because pass protection doesn't appeal to be strength. That's bad. Number 4, center, Daniel Brunski. Lost all of his reps during one-on-ones, lost to Kevin Atkins twice and Ackerman Spence once. He's losing the competition with Jay Brundle for the starting centre job. Offensive tackle, Julian Moore. Got beat by Samson Ibukman, Kimbo Torre and Jordan Willis during one-on-ones. Moore needs to be moved to guard because he's not offensively a tackle. Wide receiver, Julian Jennings dropped a pass, then failed to catch another one because he didn't turn his head to find it. Jennings had an extremely quiet camp so far. Number 7, Devani West got pushed around repeatedly during one-on-ones. Does not appear strong enough to make the roster 8's time. Number 8, right tackle, Mike McClinchy. Did not practice today. Probably got a rest day, but the 49ers haven't said yet. Number 9, cornerback, Ward. Did not practice today. Probably got a rest day, but the 49ers haven't said yet. And that's it. The fight, madness. Okay, but we'll move on. I'll talk after. The good quarterback, Trey Lance. Yeah, again, getting better and better as the time goes on. Got swamped by the pass rush yet again and didn't throw a pick, which is progress. Completed 9 of 16 passes. Got sacked 3 times. Got 2 passes tipped at the line of scrimmage and threw 1 pass away. His best throw was a 15-yard dart on 3rd and 5 to Deebo Samuel, which he caught between two defenders. Lance also completed a 20-yard pass to George Kittle up the right seam. Otherwise, the defensive mostly held Lance and the offensive in check. It will be interesting to see how Lance performs in a couple of weeks during joint practices against the Vikings, because right now the 49ers offense is completely overmatched by the 49ers defense. Number 2, wide receiver, Danny Gray. I owe Gray an apology. I completely wrote him off yesterday. I wrote that he couldn't win short, medium, or deep, and he did all 3 of those things today. He caught a whopping 5 passes during team drills. Before today, he caught just 2 passes total, and his final 2 catches of today were deep grabs and up the sideline against secondary cornerback Ambry Thomas. Clearly, Gray benefited from my criticism, so I take full credit for the words that I used yesterday, and he turned them around. That's quite quality control is for. It's really good. Number 3, wide receiver Deebo Samuel caught his first 2 passes from Lance off the offseason and looked like just an explosive as he did last year. See, Deebo's coming back, man. Deebo's going to do well. Number 4, guard Spencer Burford performed extremely well during one-on-one pass rushes. The rookie 4th round pick beat vets such as Charles Omin High, Kevin Givens, and Robert Najewski. Based solely on the drill, Burfield appears to be the 49ers' best internal offensive lineman right now, and he's the youngest player on the team. Guard Jason Poe. The undrafted rookie free agent also played surprisingly well during one-on-ones. He beat veteran Akim Spence twice and threw him into the ground once. Poe also beat Kevin Atkins. Remember, these 2 defensive tackles dominated Daniel Bronski. Poe is extremely strong for a young player and is a low centre for gravity. That's good. The youngsters are the better. And if he's on the team, that's great. Offensive tackle. Justin Skull appears to be the 3rd best offensive tackle on the roster after Trent Williams and Mike McGlinchey. Today, Skull won reps against Drake Jackson and Alex Barrett. Number 7, defensive end Samson Ibukman beat Colton McTivitz for a sack during one-on-ones, and 11-on-11s also beat Julian Moore. Number 8, defensive end Drake Jackson won almost all of his reps during one-on-ones, although he didn't face any starters. He even rushed from the interior once, although he clearly is more effective rushing from the edge. He has huge legs, long arms, and he can dip underneath the offensive lineman's hands. He just needs to get in. Slightly better shape. It's going to be fantastic. Number 9, defensive end Kerry Hyder. Won all 3 of his reps during one-on-ones. Kerry is an older player who's not an elite athlete, but he's crafty pass rusher who knows how to beat young blockers. Very good. Defensive tackle, last one, defensive tackle, Javon Kinlaw returned to practice after taking 2 days off and practiced extremely well during 11-on-11s. He did not participate in one-on-ones. So that's it. Well, madness. Wide receiver Danny Gray, quarterback Trey Lance did well, but the fight, Fred Warner and Brandon Ayuk. So it's good. I think the fight's good. It had to be done because it seems like, Fred Warner talks crap, Brandon Ayuk's going to see it up. Let's have it out. It's been brewing for a long time according to what Grant Cohen's saying on his article. But here we go. Put them to the side, talk, because you're all fighting for the same thing. You want a Super Bowl, you want to win. But there you have it. Fair play though, Brandon Ayuk and Fred Warner, but it gets heated, you calm it down, and then you play smart. But that's it. That's Grant Cohen on that. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think of day 6 of the 49ers training camp. Thank you very much as well to 473 subscribers. Really I appreciate you guys subscribing. If you're new, subscribe. I've got 49ers news along the way, NFL news along the way across the week as well. So guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.